Body language segment tonight. Barbara Walters is asked an embarrassing question. Caroline Kennedy is embarrassed by some of her answers. Sarah Palin teed off over the media treatment she's got. At least she appears that way. Roll the tape.
There's so much hypocrisy in it all. It's pretty baffling. But yeah, had I been chosen perhaps to run as a reformer on the Democrat ticket, we would have seen an absolutely different and I think, if you will, a much prettier profile of Sarah Palin and the Palin family and my administration.
Here's what I don't get about that body language. She's saying something that is disturbing her. She thinks she got treated unfairly because of her political party and belief system. But she's smiling. Well, she's perky.
Yeah, but that's a cover-up. You know, it's quite often we mask anger with a smile, and you can tell that because quite often what she does during this clip is she has a neutral expression, and it's a little bit on the downside.
But look, she looks happy. Well, doesn't she not look happy?
Watch, there's a cue right there. She doesn't look happy. Her lips wind up going down. So, and here, when she's talking, one of the things she does is she squints and then pulls herself back.
Yeah,
and that's, you know.
Explain this to me. When I'm mad, I look mad. You've seen me mad.
Yeah, but there are times that you too try to mask your anger. You'll go, come on, don't be ridiculous, and that's anger leaking through. But it's kind of like you're trying to smile to get over it.
So her body language then says that I'm extremely annoyed, but I'm still going to be.
It's sarcastic. It's a sarcastic.
I see her. If you can't hear what she's saying, you think she's happy.
No, you would see. There were at least 2 instances where she has that tight-lipped smile, and you could see it goes down, and then the squint of the eye, which is a cheeky, audacious kind of look, and then the hand movement as she goes,
great eye contact, though.
Always does. She has wonderful eye contact.
All right, let's get to Caroline Kennedy, who's had a lot of problems making herself clear. Roll the tape on that one.
Well, I know people have a lot of opinions about our family, people in our family, you know, good opinions, bad opinions. That's something that I've grown up with. But, you know, I can tell you that in our family, in my family in particular, I think, you know, there was a sense that, you know, we have to work twice as hard because, you know, people have this perception that, you know, and we are fortunate. But I think it's a question of what do you do with that opportunity.
All right, we'll get to the you-knows in a minute. What's this?
Yeah. Well, you know, when we do this, what are we doing? We're opening, we're closing. Here, it seems like it's more agitation. She's trying to get her point across, and she keeps closing up her body language, and that's a signal to me that she's very nervous. She's shy, she comes across as introverted, and her body language is very different from what we just saw with, say, Sarah Palin.
See, there's no reason for her to be nervous. It's a softball question. He's not challenging the interviewer, but her hands are going a mile a minute, and her thought process is, I don't get it. I'm not getting Caroline.
Her hands say a lot. When she's talking about, you know, there's a lot of opinions out there about my family. If you looked at how she moved her hands, when she said there's a lot of good opinions, her hands are kind of close together. But then when she says there's a lot of bad opinions, her hands go very wide apart. And that's an inward indication that she recognizes there's a lot of bad thought out there about the family.
She has a speech deficit with the you-knows. You know, it's much more prominent than most people. Everybody has, they say okay or all right, or, you know, they do that to buy time so they can think about what they'd like to say. It's normal. But she almost has a speech impediment here. It's
just a high level of tension. When you say it 7 times in a 25-second clip, that's a high level of tension.
So is it just that Caroline Kennedy doesn't like to speak in public? Is that what this is all about?
Well, we don't have that much footage of her doing so. So I think it's also a learning curve. She's kind of molding her way through this.
This was an easy interview. Yeah. This was simple. So you just don't
Not for her.
Well, I'm shocked. I'm talking it up as she feels very uncomfortable in speaking in public.
That's possible.
You know what
how low her
the biggest fear of Americans is?
Public speaking. I do know that.
I think she's got it. I think that's what that's all about. All right, finally, Barbara Walters, who has no fear of speaking in public, as everybody knows, is asked kind of an embarrassing question. Roll the tape.
When Harry met Sally with Meg Ryan, when she said anybody, that was you.
She's having.
Yeah, she said anybody can fake an orgasm, and then she did.
Barbara?
Can I what?
You fake an orgasm?
Listen, I am not having these kinds of conversations.
I love the body language.
I'm a little itchy.
See, they watch the show. They know we're doing a body language thing. I think that was shtick myself.
I agree. It was this coy little grin, you know.
Right.
I mean, this is a very obvious gesture. The one thing that I don't think was intentional was when it first happened, she juts out her foot. Now, typically,
she what?
She juts out her foot. Her foot kicks out.
How do you know?
I'm watching the video.
Oh, the foot kicks out.
So what happens is
What does that mean?
Well, we typically control the upper half of our body because we recognize that people are looking at the upper half of our body. We don't have that much control over the lower half. So quite often, body language will leak out of the lower half of your body.
Body language will leak.
It leaks out.
Out of the lower
That's
end.
right.
Well,
there it goes right there. So what you're looking for is any quick movement.
All right, so
in
what
the
did
lower
that
half of
tell
the
you?
body. There was some, a level of anxiety leaking right out of the
I
bottom.
got to get out of this.
Yeah.
I don't want to answer that question.
Well, just that there's a reaction, so to speak.
And
so
she's such a pro that she turned it into a,
then we go with
a funny, coy line.
Yes.
Okay. Body language leaks out of the
lower half of the body.
Did you know that? I did not know that, ladies and gentlemen. See what you learn here. Tonya, thanks very much.
Thank you.
We come right back. A legal story, hard to believe. Husband suing his estranged wife for $1 million after she allegedly cheats on him, and there is a kidney involved. Also had the Beatles. How much you know about them? The Culture Quiz. Moments away.